Today we are going to discuss about the a new topic in this subject, that is biological nutrient removal. It's one of the important topic because in generally when we are studied in our previous semester, in that it is already discussed what is the biological treatment, and here that time you people are focused about the removal of COD, BOD and other things. But we are so much focused about to remove the nutrient, because we know that what will happen if we are going to release the municipal wastewater which have a high nutrient content. Anybody can tell? You can write in chat box also. So what will happen if you are going to if you are not going to remove nutrient from the wastewater? What is going to happen? I'm waiting for response in chat box. What will happen?
So like if we didn't remove nitrogen, phosphorus, then sir, it will lead to leachate. It will leach in the
You're right.
underground.
Somebody wrote that groundwater contamination. Somebody wrote that eutrophication. So because most of the time we are focused about two things: nitrogen, ammonia, different form of nitrogen. You can say that, and phosphorus. So when I'm talking about nitrogen, phosphorus, they can contaminate our groundwater, and basic problem with eutrophication, and that's why in advanced wastewater we are going to discuss the main requirement, because its research output is here there. So what we can do are, what are the boundary condition, how to select best method to remove the nutrients. Asa, you just tell me, if you want to remove nitrogen or ammonia, any form of nitrogen, biological method will be good or chemical method? Waiting in response in chat box. If you want to remove nitrogen or ammonia, any form of nitrogen, whether biological method will be good or chemical method will be good, or physical method is good, or in case of phosphorus, which one is good? आप लोगों ने पढ़ा होगा, वेस्ट वाटर में तो पढ़ा होगा.
It's a chemical method for nitrogen.
हाँ,
Chemical method for nitrogen.
और phosphorus के लिए phosphorus के लिए इसीलिए बोलते हैं वेस्ट वाटर का थोड़ा सा. Generally we are so much focused about, when we are focused about nitrogen or any form of nitrogen. Very good. Musafir Kumar, he written biological for nitrogen. You are right. Nitrogen biological method is one of the best suited method. Second one is a physical, where we do air stripping. And for phosphorus, even we can do biological, but chemical method is always preferred. So let us understand nutrient removal, biological nutrient removal. So when I'm talking about nitrogen removal, I'm talking about the process, and here process is nitrification, denitrification, process for biological nitrogen removal, NMOX process. These are the very common process. So we know that what is a nitrification. What is nitrification? Nitrification is the process where what will happen? Any means nitrifying bacteria is going to oxidize ammonia to nitrite, then it is going to further oxidize to into nitrate. And what is denitrification? What is denitrification? It is just reverse process. It's just reverse process. In this process, what will happen? Again, this nitrate, it is again going back to atmosphere from the soil or other things, or from any other process to the nitrogen gas. So we can say that it is just a opposite process of this thing. What is NMOX process? So NMOX process, when I'm talking about, actually I'm talking about here ammonium. here anaerobic ammonium oxidation, and that's this term is combined term is name is named as NMOX. So what will here combine ammonia and nitrite, not nitrate, combine ammonia and nitrate directly into dinitrogen gas. So without हमारा denitrification process में क्या होता है? First, ammonia is going to convert into nitrite, then nitrate is going to convert into nitrate, then during the denitration process, then this nitrate is going to convert it into nitrogen gas. Here what will happen? Here ammonia and nitrite directly going to convert it into dinitrogen gas. So this allow a new, or we can say that very efficient treatment possibility of wastewater. Okay? But the problem is that this large scale process with the NMOX is very complex, and that's why it's in large scale. It's still it is not we can say that feasible or till now not implemented. Next, phosphorus removal. So when I'm talking already there is a biological phosphorus removal. The problem is biological, their removal efficiency is very less. So for that, a number of other methods is developed that we will discuss one by one. Combine nitrogen and phosphorus removal by these methods that we will discuss one by one. And one last method, that is physical methods. Here all what I told, that it's all about physical and chemical and biological methods. But last one, what I am talking about, it's a physical method. And here one of the good, we can say that it's a good approach where we are physically we are able to convert ammonia into nitrogen gas, but it required a particular pH. In particular pH we can use this process, transformation process. So let us discuss what is nutrients. So now from the word we understand here I'm talking about when I'm talking about this thing, I'm talking about nitrogen and phosphorus most of the cases when I'm talking about nutrients. So nutrients are substances, and we know that it's required, but naturally it's required, but in a limited quantity. Plants, animals, these are taken by living for their growth, but carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus are some essential nutrients for aquatic organisms. So these two things, carbon, we can say that. So that's why when I'm talking about nutrients, so we are more focused about nitrogen and phosphorus because removal of carbon contents is quite easy, and COD is a conventional treatment process. That's why we are more focused about nitrogen and phosphorus. So what are the key ideas behind that things? We know that key nutrients are essential for growth, but again we know that when it is essential for growth, then it is going to be good for aquatic system. No, if it is too much, then what will happen in aquatic system? It is going to provide anoxic condition where toxicity of the water is going to increase. Providing adjustable condition enable nutrient removal biologically, and when nutrient removal comes in picture, most of the time we are focused about the biological methods. Okay? But the problem is that adjustment conditions are not simple to achieve, and that's why sometimes simple biological methods is not able to remove this thing. So what are those nutrients? Their distribution. So typical nitrogen concentration in domestic sewage is 25 to 45, out of which ammonia nitrogen is, maybe you can say that more than 50%, and organic nitrogen is less than 50%. Phosphorus concentration is 10 to 20 milligram per ton. So now we understand in coming slide, we are going to be focused about ammonical nitrogen and organic nitrogen. Here you can say that it's one of the classification.
So what is adjusting conditions?
Huh?
So adjusting conditions.
Acha, adjustment condition.
Yes, sir.
So you know that key this ammonia, when it is going to convert into nitrite, then nitrate, a particular pH is required, a temperature is required. If it is a first process is nitrification, here sufficient oxygen is required. If sufficient oxygen is not there, nitrification process is not going to occur. In denitrification process, it is going to without oxygen. If the oxygen is present, then particular that bacteria is not going to work, because that is anaerobic bacteria. So that's why condition is not, it is going every time, it is not going to be favorable. We have to, you know that when we are talking about wastewater treatment, we have to alkalinity is required. uh, Sufficient condition is, if it is not available, then bacteria is not going to survive. Bacteria is same like human body. We, अगर हमको एक अच्छा सा एटमॉस्फेयर नहीं मिलेगा, तो we are not going to survive. Same condition is going to be true for the wastewater treatment when I am talking about biological wastewater treatment. In chemical treatment process, once you are, if you are not going to forget to control the pH, so a particular amount is going to be deteriorate, and after that once again it is going to start, it is going to recover. But once biological system is going to damage, it is not going to keep, after 1 hour you can update at this thing, because once it is gone, you cannot revive that bacteria. For again you have to bring the bacteria from some scale, then you have to modify. एक एक्टिवेटेड स्लज ट्रीटमेंट प्रोसेस जब नया चालू होता है, तो हम क्या करते हैं उसमें, हम किसी ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग वेस्ट वाटर ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट में जाते हैं, वहां का स्लज ले आते हैं, बिकॉज दैट हैव ए एक्टिव माइक्रोब्स दैट वी आर गोइंग टू मिक्स इनटू न्यू ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट, देन वी कैन ओनली run that system. Whereas in chemical treatment method, you need not to bring anything from the existing wastewater treatment plant. That's why adjustable condition is a very tough in biological system. Any message? Why remove nutrients? We already discussed, because we know that if we are not going to remove, then what will happen? This principal nutrient of concern, because in treated wastewater discharge, if it is available, it is going to discharge. So discharge containing nitrogen and phosphorus may accelerate the eutrophication of lakes reservoir. Okay, and if it is going to eutrophication, so what will happen? Growth of algae and rooted aquatic plants in shallow. This is the one of the problem. Additional what problem is going to come? It is aesthetically displeasing once eutrophication is going to occur. Presence of this algae and plant may interface the beneficial use of water. You cannot use for recreational purpose and other things. Okay. Water supply may again you are going to get problem. Fish propagation, recreational. So the things is that uh, it's a one of the industry, you can say that, and it is going to damage if your wastewater, if you are going to discharge your wastewater. Okay. Nowadays, if it is a properly, we can utilize river system, we can generate huge fund from that thing. But the bad luck of the India is that we are not able to generate the fund from the river. So no need to write down attendance. When I will ask, then you need to write. So significant concentration of this nitrogen in treated effluent may also have adverse effect. What will happen? Because it is nitrogen and ammonia is going to convert into nitrite, then nitrate, a huge quantity of oxygen is required, and the DO is going to deplete. Once DO is going to deplete, so aquatic system is going to damage. Toxicity towards the aquatic life, but natural nitrate concentration is going to increase, then it is going to be toxic. Chlorine disinfection efficiency. Can anybody explain what will happen if ammonia is present in sewage or any water? Then what will happen?
Sir, order problem.
Any other? Technically, what will happen if a water have a ammonia and you are going to do disinfection?
So chloramines will form.
Chloramines will be formed, and sometime if it is means in drinking water again you are going to apply, so a lot of problem is going to create, presenting a public health hazard, affecting suitability of water for reuse. So these are the common problem. At times algal blooms create toxin that can kill fish, because of the algal bloom is one of the you can say the problematic things. After being consumed by small fish and shellfish, these toxin move up the food chain. अब वो क्या होगा, वो जो एल्गल ब्लूम जो है वो जिसके अंदर टॉक्सिन आ गई उसको मछलियों ने खाया और फिर मछली को हम खा रहे हैं, ठीक ना? So again it is going to come into food chain. Even if algal bloom are not toxic, they can hurt aquatic life by blocking south sunlight and clogging fish gills. So what will happen? Photosynthesis action is going to stop. Once photosynthesis action is going to stop, so what will happen? DO level is going to reduce. So there is a lot of problem with the algal bloom, and that's why a lot of scientists is working in field of eutrophication. And the problem associated with nutrient is ammonia toxicity. ठीक है? We know that this molecular or unionized ammonia is toxic to fish and aquatic life, but natural. The effect of ammonia toxicity can be acute as well as chronic. Where we use word acute in terms of the fish and other things, animal life, and chronic because it have toxic and it have some value, that is RFB and CSF value, which is if we are going to calculate, it may be going to be because we know that concentration for the drinking water. Anybody have idea of what is the nitrate concentration?
Oh,
45 mg per liter.
45 milligram.
And river water में रिवर वाटर में बताइए. In river water it is 10 and for drinking it is 45. Why? क्या हमारी शरीर ज्यादा एब्जॉर्ब कर लेगी और वहां नहीं हो पाएगा? Try to explain me. You got my point. In drinking water up to 45 milligram per liter, but in river water it is only 10 milligram per liter. Why? Chat box में लिखिए आप. You can write in chat box. Tell me. Why in river water its concentration limit was is 10 milligram per liter, but in drinking water it is 45. Good answer, Swastis. The thing is that we are not going to drink more than 3 liter or 4 liters. So what will happen if river water have it more than 10? So what will happen? Eutrophication problem is going to occur, and that is it's a magnified, which means river, if fish is there, it is going to means it is going to consume every day a lot of water, and that nitrate is going to accumulate in their body. That's why in river concentration limit was kept only 10 milligram per liter, but as a human body it was kept 45. This is the only one parameter worldwide where concentration for surface water kept below the permissible limit of the drinking water. आप इसके सिवा कोई एक पैरामीटर आप नहीं पाएंगे जिसमें आपको ड्रिंकिंग वाटर में ज्यादा रखा गया हो और सरफेस वाटर में कम रखा गया. It is only one parameter. Nitrate contamination of groundwater is also major cause of concern. Nitrate can be created from discharge of ammonia. We know that this thing. So groundwater, it's a very common. Why? Because you will find that this is the major concern of the Punjab area. What happened? They use urea that have a high concentration of NPK, and what happened? Denitrification and nitrification process continuous goes on. So during nitrification process and other things, these things converted into nitrate and it contaminated the groundwater, and that's why agricultural area where production is quite high and where they use this chemical fertilizer, uh, you will find that nitrate concentration is very high. What is special thing in today budget? Yeah, please tell me. What is special thing in today budget? Budget किसी ने सुना? Government is going to invest a huge fund for the organic farming. Now, nitrate can be created from the discharge of ammonia, which gets nitrified in the soil, and nitrate in water cause methaglobinemia. It is one of the disease. Hence, wastewater treatment facility must meet nutrient effluent limits so that it is not going to create the problem to its reference to chronic, acute, eutrophication, toxicity, whatever the other what we already discussed, and that's why their removal is compulsory. So you just see this is the eutrophication process. It's a very common problem in Indian river. It's a very common problem because we still in India very limited wastewater treatment plant is there, and most of the time you will find that still most of the city water is directly discharged into local river or local nala, which is again going to meet in the river. So it's a common problem. And why? Because still India have a very limited wastewater treatment plant. So nutrient pollution, if not controlled, can create dead zone known as hypoxia. Why? Why this hypoxia is going to occur? Why this hypoxia is going to occur?
Lack of oxygen.
Because lack of oxygen. All oxygen is going to utilize during conversion of ammonia to nitrite to nitrate. All oxygen is going to be used. Now water it did not have oxygen and still 100% conversion not occurs. So that's why it's a very common problem where aquatic life cannot survive. These areas caused by algal bloom consuming O2 as they die and decompose. Okay, so this is important line. These areas are the caused by algal blooms consuming O2 as they die and decompose. So you just see in figure it is going to be more clear. This is the hypoxia. You just see here this algal bloom is consuming O2 and they die and decompose here. Nutrients enter lake from inland, river, stream, whatever. The nutrient cause an algal bloom. Eventually, algae die and sink to bottom of this thing. Warm surface water does not mix with the cold deep water, so hypoxia persists. And that is the one of the biggest problem in case of where eutrophication occurs. Nutrient control strategy. What are the control strategy? So for selecting a nutrient control method, it is assessed to characteristics the untreated wastewater because it's very important where ammonical nitrogen is more or which form of is there. Okay, and what is my target? Okay, because if you a particular wastewater have a organic nitrogen in form of ammonia, nitrate, nitrite, or we know that there is a different form of nitrogen. So we must have idea, okay, how much it is going to be because when I'm talking about nitrogen removal from wastewater, so ultimate thing is that we are going to convert the things into nitrogen gas, that is a nitrification followed by denitrification. Okay, so when we are talking about organic nitrogen, so what is organic nitrogen?
Ammonia.
Anybody can tell what is the organic nitrogen? What is organic nitrogen? बताइए. Somebody wrote. Example. I need some example. So amines, ठीक है, nitrosamine, peroxyl nitrate, these are the organic nitrogen. ठीक है. And when I am talking about normal nitrogen, so I am talking about simple ammonia, nitrates, nitrite. And in lab, you people, I think you people have idea what is TKN? What is TKN?
So free plus organic ammonia.
Total zero nitrogen. It
Yes,
is
sir.
consist of which type nitrogen?
Free plus organic.
Ammonia plus organic. So you must have idea, then only you can understand which treatment technology we are going to use. So various treatment methods have been used employing chemical, physical and biological system to limit or control the amount. Okay, that we are going. Our permissible limit, we know that it is 10, and if it is only 12 milligram or 15 milligram per liter, so we know that only 33% removal is required. But if concentration is 100 milligram per liter, then in that case we need to fix a treatment system which have a efficiency of 90% removal efficiency, which system must have a 90% removal efficiency. So these are the common thing that we have to take care. The process must use initially were biologically nitrification for ammonia oxidation. ठीक है, ammonia का oxidation, then control biological denitrification using methanol for nitrogen removal and chemical precipitation phosphorus. So most of the time, these are the most common method. And most of the time, when I'm talking about phosphorus, we prefer to go for chemical precipitation. But still, a lot of method is developed. We will discuss one by one what are those methods, what is their significance, how we can enhance that method for the removal of these things.
Sir, in slide 8, so can you please go to slide 8?
Slide 8.
So here in the first figure it is written that warm surface water does not mix with cold deep water. So but we have studied in like lake ecosystem that generally happens that the top surface, the top water mixes with the cold water.
Yeah, you are right.
But
Actually,
is it like due to creation of hypoxia condition? Are there no mixing, or is it telling that when there is no mixing, then only hypoxia condition exists, and when mixing will occur, the hypoxia condition will go?
okay, it is clearly written warm surface water does not mix with cold deep water. Try to understand this water. Deep water. If it is a shallow river, this is not going to applicable. But especially this thing is going to occur in lake. आप देखोगे यूट्रिफिकेशन की प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा लेक में आ जाती है. रिवर में क्या होता है, वहां मिक्सिंग चलती रहती है. You got my point. It's clear what is written, cold deep water. Now it is clear.
सर बट हम लोग लेक में पढ़े थे ना कि सर नीचे वाला पानी ऊपर जाता है और फिर ऊपर वाला जो गर्म पानी होता है वो जनरली डेंस कम रहता है, तो वो फिर
but there is some limit now. There is some limit. It's when it is too deep. When it is too deep, then only this problem is going to occur. Otherwise, it is not going to occur.
Okay, sir.
So methods for nutrient removal, you just see in physical method, generally one method is popular, that is air stripping. So here I am discussing only two methods. Not discussing, I am trying to compare. How I am going to compare? You just see, it is generally cost effective to use biological method. We know that. One of the cost effective method is always cost effective method is going to be biological method. But other factors we have to take care, and how we are going to take care, you just see here. It is this table is made especially in with reference to nutrient removal. Okay, so chemical, we know that we are going to use some chemical, ferric, aluminum, or any compounds. Here adjust condition. Here we are going to adjust only condition. Benefit, chemical method is always easy, but expensive. Biological method is cheap, but lots of monitoring and adjustment is required. ठीक है, यहाँ पे मॉनिटरिंग आपकी थोड़ी गलत होगी, then efficiency में is going to remove, instead of 90% it may reduce to 80%. But if here your adjustment is something wrong going to happen, then your removal efficiency is going to really decrease from 90 to 0% may be possible. That's why sometime in municipal wastewater, where pollution load is not high, we go for biological method. But in industrial wastewater, generally we go for chemical method, because we don't know that here removal efficiency is one of the important tasks. Okay, so that's why it's, you will here in table you can understand. Long based on that we understand ki when the concentration of pollutant is too high, and then in that case, if budget, there is no problem with the budget and other things, we can go for chemical. But nowadays what we are doing hybrid methods. So in hybrid method, what first we are going to treat the water with a biological, followed by chemical. So here chemical method, if suppose any time this system not work, chemically we are going to treat, and the load on this thing means the purpose of this thing, we are going to reduce expensive, because dose of chemical is going to reduce, because it is pre-treated with biological system. So that's why nowadays hybrid system is always preferred. Now researchers are working to develop a hybrid method where they can treat the wastewater with physical plus chemical, chemical plus biological, physical plus biological, any combination, just to overcome these issues. So first, let us start nitrogen removal. So nitrogen, we know that it's a chemical element found in all living beings, and it's a main constituents of DNA and RNA, amino acid and protein. Okay, when we are talking about in system. So and when I'm talking about wastewater, so there is a four form of nitrogen. One is organic nitrogen, second one is ammonium, third one is nitrite, nitrate. Nitrogen in wastewater is primarily in the form of ammonia or organic nitrogen. Untreated wastewater contain little or no nitrate, they say. Because why untreated wastewater generally? Why untreated wastewater did not have nitrate or nitrite? Because generally untreated wastewater did not have a oxygen. During treatment, some aeration process, another process involved, and that time oxygen is going to, that time only nitrification process is going to on. So ammonia or organic nitrogen never going to convert into nitrate and nitrite, and because of that untreated wastewater, there is a rare chance to get the nitrate and nitrite. And again, when I'm talking about percentage, we already discussed that it is approximately more than 50%, so it is a 60%, less than 50%, so it is 40%. So their contribution is in between this thing. 45 to means more or less 40 milligram 50 milligram per liter. This is very important line here. Generally, BOD5 and nitrogen ratio in sewage found 100 to 5. Sometimes used because based on that we can understand how much loading is there. So nitrogen removal can be achieved into two methods. I told that one is a very popular method, that is a physical method, is ammonia stripping. So only 1 minute, just wait. So physical method ammonia stripping is a very common process, and you will find in most of the coke one treatment plant or industrial wastewater plant ammonia stripping. But the thing is that here you need to raise the pH, and which require a chemical, and that's why even though it is looking at physical methods, but more or less we can say that it's a combination of physical plus chemical methods, but because you need to change the pH. So biological methods, so when I'm talking about biological methods, actually I'm talking about nitrification and denitrification. Please rejoin the meeting. Again, I'm going to stop here. Okay, so now we understand when I'm talking about biological method for the removal of nutrients, generally we are focused about the nitrification and denitrification process. So nitrogen can occur in many forms in wastewater and undergo many transformation. So let us we are going to understand from this figure. It's organic nitrogen, protein, urea, whatever. So bacterial decomposition is going to happen, and here it is going to convert into ammonical nitrogen, and assimilation process is going. So what is the assimilation process? Formation of organic nitrogen compounds like amino acid from inorganic nitrogen. So here then it is going to convert it to nitrite in the presence of oxidation, and it is reduction. When I'm talking about denitrification, actually I'm talking about reduction. Reduction is going to occur in the presence of organic nitrogen as a food source for the microbes. So this is the nitrogen transformation in biological treatment process. It's a simple diagram. Now from that we can understand the oxidation, reduction, assimilation is the key, or you can say the important tool responsible for the transformation of nitrogen in wastewater. So this slide we will discuss in later class. For today, I think it is more than sufficient. Please write down your attendance. After writing the attendance, you can leave the meeting.
Sir. Sir.
Please tell me.
Yes, sir. Actually, I was asking, can you share the marks of all students, because since it is relative grading, we like पता रहना चाहिए सर कि हमारे
It is already means released by me. Just half an hour before I released this code.
नहीं sir, everyone's mark like in a list, because
No. Why you want to know to other marks?
because sir relative grading है ना sir,
Whatever the reason.
मतलब सर अगर मान लीजिए जैसे
You try to understand. You do
Yeah,
your
yeah.
best,
yes sir
because it may be it's looking like your query is justified, but the thing is that other student, they may say that ki, sir, it's my marks, how you can show to other.
yes.
Fundamentally it is wrong.
Yeah, that I am understanding sir, but actually
But you cannot see other marks
yes
until
sir.
he or she is not ready.
Yes sir.
You got my point? So
Yes,
that's why I can't release to everybody's score.
So can you tell something like that, that we got from range like this to this, or
That I can say.
yeah.
Minimum
Yes.
marks, maximum marks, median, that I can say.
Yes sir, okay sir.
Then it's not belong to anyone.
Yes
This
sir,
average
yes.
mark, mean, mode, median, everything I am going to release. Don't worry about that.
Yes sir, that is just what I want.
Okay. Then it's okay.
Thank you sir.
Sir,
Yes,
sir, can you please repeat why untreated wastewater contains little or no nitrates?
because once wastewater released from our house, that time it is not aerated. Without aeration, how nitrification process is going to occur? Because without nitrification process, simple ammonia nitrogen is not going to convert into nitrate and nitrite. Once it is going to comes in wastewater treatment plant during aeration process, inactivated sludge process or trickling filter, then only this ammonical nitrogen or organic nitrogen is going to convert into nitrite and nitrate. वेस्ट वाटर में तो जब आपके घर से निकलता है तो उसमें ऑक्सीजन होता होगा, नहीं ना?
Sir, yes, I got it.
Please leave the meeting, those who have given their attendance.